also know more about what is happening. So if you're joining us from YouTube, thank you very much. We welcome you if you're joining us from YouTube. If you're seeing this recording on YouTube, thank you very much for attending. This is going to take you through Crypto Flow Bot trade settings. For those of you who are very new, Crypto Flow Bot is an automated crypto trading bot that you can connect your that you can connect your Binance or your Bybit to trade for you on complete automation. Okay. Crypto Flow Bot is an AI powered. Okay, let me repeat this. Crypto Flow Bot, it is an AI powered crypto automated trading software that you can connect to your Binance account or your Bybit account, and it trades for you inside your Binance or inside your Bybit on complete automation. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to do anything. It handles everything on your behalf. That is Crypto Flow Bot for you, a brief introduction. So how much, for those of you who are joining in for the first time, Crypto Flow Bot is a yearly subscription service. Maybe you're joining us from YouTube, you're seeing this for the first time. Crypto Flow Bot is a yearly subscription service that you pay once every year. That is $120. And after you pay for it, you just connect it to your Binance account and it starts trading. In this case, let me go ahead and get my pointer so that I can be able to teach with direction. I hate these adverts because they are everywhere. You cannot disable them. I don't know why. Okay, but I hate such adverts. But anyway, let's go ahead and we continue. So this is Crypto Flow Bot. This is how it looks like. And when you pay for Crypto Flow Bot, when you pay the subscription fee of $120, okay, to pay that, you can get anyone who knows about Crypto Flow Bot or maybe who's using it. Or if you're from YouTube, if you're watching for the first time on YouTube, you can contact me. I'll leave the contacts in the comment section. You can contact me and I take you through how you can get Crypto Flow Bot. Once you get it, you're going to connect it to your Binance account or your Bybit. For now, it only accepts Binance or Bybit, okay? Binance or Bybit, but of course they are adding more exchanges like Mexi, Kraken, and then also they're adding Hyperliquid, and also we requested for them to add on Bing X. I think it is in the pipeline, is going to also be added, and those are the main exchanges it trades on. So once you now have Crypto Flow Bot, now the only thing left to do is to turn on automation. Let me first turn off all these buttons so that I can turn on one by one as you look at them. Okay. Let me first turn off everything here. Let me first turn off everything so that when I start teaching, we can relate with everything. So Crypto Flow Bot, remember you have connected it to your Binance account. Why do you connect it to your Binance account? It is because we do not give our capital to Crypto Flow Bot. Rather, our capital stays in Binance or Bybit. Then we just connect Crypto Flow Bot to our Binance or Bybit without us doing anything. So it is going to now start trading inside your Binance or your Bybit for you. So you have full access to your money. You're not giving your money to the bot. It is not holding your money. That's the beauty of this. So once you connect your Crypto Flow Bot to your Binance account, it is going to read your Binance balance or your Bybit balance, depending on the wallet which you're in. Okay. So before you start trading using Crypto Flow Bot, you should have some money on either your futures account or your spot account to make sure you can go ahead and trade inside your Binance account or your Bybit. For example, right now on this account, you can see on futures, this is an account that I have been given access. It is not mine. Okay. This person has over $24,000 on his futures account. But if we go to spot here, you can see on spot, he has zero US dollars on spot. That's why spot trading is not enabled. Okay. I mean, we are not going to use spot as an example. So when you buy your Crypto Flow Bot, your Binance account, it is going to read your futures balance. Okay, if the money is in your futures wallet, it's going to read your futures balance or unified balance if it is the case for Bybit. Now, when it reads your balance and you find that you have a balance of between $50 to around $200 or maybe $300, okay, to around 50 to around $200 or to $300, it is better. And for capital conservation and for maximum risk management, it is better you come and turn on this single button like here. Okay, this single button like this, turn it on like this. Okay, when you click in it, you turn it on. It's going to show you full autonomy activated, bot controls everything. Full autonomy activated, bot controls everything. Here you can see full auto futures running. It means, what is it going to do? It is going to go to your Binance account or your Bybit, whichever you are bounded. Okay, it is going to now do market analysis on your behalf. Market analysis. Okay, it analyzes the different pairs in your Binance, and it only analyzes, for example, if we had come here down on futures, if we had come here down on futures, it is going to only analyze 41 top cryptocurrencies. You can look at them. We can see the whole market has gone down. I don't know whether it is news or what is happening. I don't know, but it is going to come and analyze only these 41 top 41. It includes the BTC, Ethereum, Solana, ZEC, XRP, Doge, ADA, BNB, AVAX, Uni, Link, Ave, okay, Ondo, Sui, Nia, and up to which coin? Up to Rune USDT. So these are one of the top quality coins. Then on top of that, it is going to also add these stocks. Okay, it also trades stocks and indices inside your Binance account or your Bybit account. Whether you're trading with Binance or Bybit, these are listed as perpetual contracts. Okay, so it is trades stocks such as QQT, Nvidia. Okay, I don't know this one, but this one is Tesla. This is Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. Okay, you can see all these different stocks that the bot is going to trade for you. So it is also going to consider these 18 stocks and indices. Then when it comes to the section of precious metals and commodities, it's going to only trade for you crude oil, gold, silver, and this one BZ. I don't know BZ, but I know it is one of the commodities and metals that the bot trades. So it is going to consider only those if you have turned on automated trading and only trade for you those specific currencies or maybe specific assets. That's why it is going to do the market analysis. Okay, market analysis. It is going to do the risk management, going to do the capital management, it's going to do the trade entry if it gets an entry, trade exit if just a stop loss or maybe a take profit or maybe a trading stop, it exits with your profits. You don't have to do anything else. Everything is done by the bot. Now, this button is for specifically small capital users. If you're still a small capital user, you should only turn on this button. But we have written to the management and we have requested that even if I have my $10,000 here, even if I have my $50,000 here, even if I have $100,000, let me just turn on one button and it sorts everything. So we have requested them. They adjust the button that we have written such that this button becomes sensitive to even large capital users, such that a large capital user can also just turn on one button and it is done. That he doesn't have to know anything, he doesn't have to do anything, just one button, and the bot adjusts the risk management according to the capital the person has. So we have already written that. They have not yet replied whether they are going to implement it or not, but we have already written about that. So if you're a small capital user between $50 and maybe $300, this is small capital, just come and turn on this one button like this, okay, and you're done. Leave everything else to the bot. It is going to manage your Binance account. Everything is going to happen in your Binance account. The trading, the what, the cross, the trade entry, the trade exit, everything in your Binance account. I hope this is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Can we all agree that this is very easy to achieve? Okay. Okay. I'm going to deny all requests for recording because the session is already recorded on our YouTube channel. But let me ask, is that very hard to do? I want someone to reply. This is my question. Is turning on only one single button very hard to do? I want to see people replying to me because I don't know whether you people am I live or I went off? You guys, are you able to hear me? Because I see no one is typing. Maybe I'm talking to myself. It is as simple as 1, 2, 3, just one button and you're sorted. So this one button gives you, because now I'm going to talk from experience. From experience, this just one button can make for you 10% to 30% profit per month. Okay, per month. Per month. This is from experience. Okay, I'm not saying that it's going to make for you this specific amount of money, but this is usually the range from the accounts that we have seen, from the people that are using the bot. This is the results that they are achieving: 10% to 30% profit per month, which means if you had your $200 here, you expect to make anywhere between $20 to around $60 in a month. Okay, when you subtract off, of course, some trades are going to close in some stop losses and what, but when you consider the full month, you've been around 20. I mean, you've been around $20 to around maybe $60. If you're using $100 capital, expect around maybe $10 to $30 in profit. That's a month. So it is very conservative, give us small profits, but consistently. So that's why we like it. Even if you have a small capital, $100, you can make some small money from the market. Now, the problem is that most of the people that we have that come with small capital, $100, the $200, the $300, they come with big expectations that maybe they are going to make $500 in a month. Now, when they see that the bot is making for them 10% to 30%, to them it is as if they are not making money, but in actual sense they are making some good money. It is very hard to get maybe a bank that can give you even 10%, even if it is 5% in a month. It is very hard. If you had to keep the same money on the bank, maybe you had your $100. If you have to put the same money on the bank, they're going to give you 12% per year. 12% per year, this will be $12 in a full year. But now here you're able to make 10%, because I'm comparing now to banks, 10% to 30% every single month, which means in a year, it's around 120 to around 360% in profit. So if you consider a long term, you're making some good money, just that maybe the expectations do not match the reality. Now, let me go to some people with some good capital. I'm talking about someone having $400, $500 and above, 1,000 and above. Do we have some people here on this call? Do we have people on this call who have, if you know you're here, and you have maybe $400 and above, type for me a 1 in the chat. I want to show you, because for you now you're a big boy, I want to show you your own method of trading. It is a completely different trading style that I'm going to show you, because for you now you have to customize somehow and you make the bot apply your specific rules. Okay, can I see some people, they are typing 1. Type a 1 in the chat if you have $400, $500, 1,000 and above. I show you the different trading method that you're going to use. Okay, remember, everything that the bot does, now this is very important, everything that the bot does, it does it on your Binance or your Bybit account, not inside the bot. Here it is just showing you results of what it has achieved on your Binance, but not inside the bot. Remember, the trading part takes place on the exchange, not in the bot. So if you're a good capital user, maybe $400 and above, now this is for you. Come and click here on strategy. When you come and click here on strategy, okay, strategy, I know we requested for different strategies. I know they might be adding some different strategies. Maybe they are going to announce, and maybe if they announce, I'm going to go ahead and study the strategy which they have applied or which they have implemented. Then I'll come here and teach you again if they change in anything. But as for now, as I speak right now, we have just strategy. When you click on strategy here, you're going to land on such a page. When you land on such a page, it is going to recognize your trading, where your trading capital is, and it's going to load that. In this case, my trading capital is on futures. If you're trading on spot, it is going to load your spot trading account, but you can see on spot, I have 000. And now remember, you can trade both spot, okay, and futures on the same account, on your Binance account. You can turn on spot trading. You can just complete the steps for spot, okay, even here on home. Yeah, let's say maybe here you had you're a small capital user here, you had some money on futures, you also had some money on spot. You can just come here, come on futures, turn on this one button. Then you also go on spot. Let's say maybe you had some capital here, you also turn on this button. So it is going to trade for you both spot and futures on the same account on full automatic mode. You don't have to do anything. I hope this is very clear. But me, I prefer futures because that's where the money is. I don't trade spot. Because if you're, for example, you look at such a market and you are trading spot, where would you be? Imagine the market crashed like this and you were in spot trading. Where would you be? You'd be in floating losses, which you may not know whether you're going to recover or not. So it is better I move with the market. If it goes down, I trade shorts. If it goes up, I trade longs, like that. So you're going to click here if you're a good capital user, $400 and above. Click here on strategy. When you click on strategy, now this is very, very important. It is going to load your capital that you have in your futures wallet that you want to use for trading. When it loads your balance, here down you can see, if you scroll, you see what we call strategy partitions. What do these strategy partitions mean? The bot is asking you, it is true, I have seen your balance, but how much money do you want me to expose per trade? Okay, how much money do you want me to expose per trade? How much money do you want me to put in each trade that I'm going to open for you? That is what it's asking you. So on strategy partitions, it gives you options. It gives you options from $100 to $50,000. How much would you want me to expose per trade? So any partition here represents how much money the bot will be able to expose for you per trade. Okay, let me repeat it. Whichever partition you see, whether 100, 200, 300, 400, like this is how much money, if you select that partition, how much money the bot is going to put for you in each trade. Now, before I even continue, have we understood that? Because it is very important before I even add more context to that. Each partition here represents how much money, if you select it, it represents how much money the bot will be able to put for you in each of a trade, in each trade. So if I select the $100 partition, it means I'm telling my bot that even though I have over $20,000, make sure you expose $100 per trade. Have we understood that? Type for me a yes if you have understood that. Because for me, I I think maybe it is to do with trade setting. That's why we are here to learn more about trade setting so that we can learn how to optimize the bot. Okay. For me, I focus on you understanding rather than just cramming. That's what I focus on. So let's see. People are saying yes, they understand. Okay, very good. Now, once you understand that each of these partitions represents how much money the bot is going to expose for you per trade, now it is now upon you to choose a partition that is best suited for your capital. Now, remember, each partition shows you the maximum number of trades that the bot can trade for you if you choose that partition. In this case, for example, it is telling you if you choose the $100 partition, I'll get your capital, which you have here. I'll get your capital here. I divide by each trade having $100, and I will be able to trade for you over 200 trades. Now, is this good or bad? Trading over 200 trades is just overcrowding. It is very, really bad, really very bad. You cannot trade over 200 trades at once. It is really bad. It is true the bot can do it, but it is not healthy. It is not logical. Okay. Now here it is telling you if you choose the 200 partition, I'm going to put $200 into each trade, and I'll be able to trade for you over 121 trades at the same time, running at the same time. Maximum number of trades that can run at the same time on your account. So if you come here down, you can see the trades keep on reducing depending on the amount getting into each trade. Keep on reducing depending on the amount getting into each trade. Now, what is very important here, you should only choose a partition that will give you at least 2 to 52 to 20 or 25 trades maximum. Okay, 2 to 20 or 25 trades maximum. The bigger the better, but do not choose a partition that exceeds 25. That will be like the wastage of resources. You're distributing your small money into small things. It is better you put much bigger money into a partition and it gives you a bigger profit at the end of it all. So make sure you choose a partition that gives you between 2 to 20 or 25 maximum number of trades running at the same time. So now let me ask a question. We have the 100 partition, 200 partition, 300, 500, and 1,000. Let's assume that you had only $1,000 here. Okay, $1,000 here. But even before I ask that question, let me show you something. How many partitions open depends on how much capital you have here. For example, let me show you. Here you can see the system is showing that I have $24,000 free money, 24,000 and plus free money. And now you can see it has opened partition up to the $20,000 partition. It is because the money I have is sufficient enough that even if I wanted to put 20,000 in each trade, it would open. But look at this. The $50,000 partition is locked. Do you see this lock? It is locked. Why? It is because if I wanted the bot to put in $50,000 per trade, it says, no, my dear, you need more 25,000 to open this partition because you do not have enough money to open such a partition. Now, I hope we understand. Let me give you another example. If I click here on spot, you'll see that all the partitions are locked. Okay, all of them are locked. Why are they locked? It is because I don't have enough money on this to open any of these partitions. So it means for you to come on this strategy partition, you need at least $100 and above. But to me, I recommend you always have maybe $400 or $500 and above is when you should come to this side and you try to customize. Now that you've understood what each strategy partition and what each strategy partition means and what it represents, it is time for you to know how do I then select a partition. How do I select a partition? Now, if you're to notice on every partition, there is this empty space at the end here. Empty space here, empty space here, empty space here. Now, this is where you click if you want to select any partition. For example, if I want to select this partition here, I'm going to click here in the middle here. You just click once like this, and the partition has been updated, strategy updated. You can see it's showing on the screen, strategy updated. Now, after you do that, just come here down. You don't have to know even any other thing. Just come here down. Make sure you turn on these 4 buttons. Turn on this 1 button, second, third, and fourth, like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're done. Let me tell you guys, here it is what you have to do on this page, and you're done. Nothing else. Only turning on 4 buttons. And what is the bot going to do? The bot is going to go to the market. Okay. The bot is going to go to the market. You want to look at the market, do market analysis, get a perfect signal to enter, go ahead and enter, exit, make for you money without you touching anything. In your Binance, it is going to do everything in your Binance without you ever touching anything. That is as simple as that. Now, you may ask, so does it mean if I had selected, maybe let me go back to my partition, which I used, this one here. I just select once and it updates automatically. Actually, if you want to change strategy, that is how you change. Just pick in the next that you want and it automatically changes the strategy. So it's not going to start running. Even though I selected this one now, it is going to start running on $5,000 strategy. So now you may say, so does it put all the $5,000 at once? No, my dear, it does not. It does not. If you look here down, there is what we call smart DCA button has been turned on. Okay, smart DCA, and it explains what it's going to do. You can see they are telling you smart DCA overrides risk sizing. I'm going to show you risk. What, my dear, these messages are too much. I'm going to show you what risk sizing is all about. But then it enters in steps. It does not put all the money at once. It puts in 15% of the strategy partition. For example, if you had chosen, let me get my calculator here. If you had chosen maybe $100 strategy, it is going to first put in 15% of the $100, which means it's going to put in $15. Then it is now going to use the rest of the money, which is now $85, and set limit orders on your Binance account or on your Bybit account. It's going to set limit orders. What are these limit orders? These limit orders are supposed to help you if the market starts to go against you. It now uses the smart DCA strategy. It is called ATR-based DCA strategy to make sure it places limit orders at proven support or proven resistance. Okay, proven support or proven resistance. So it's going to place limit orders, 3 limit orders. If it was a long, it has ended for you long. It's going to place limit order on support number 1, another limit order on support number 2, limit order on support number 3. Such that if the market goes against you, and maybe it has a high likelihood to change direction from this support level. If it doesn't, it's going to come and buy this limit order here and maybe change direction. If it doesn't, it's going to come and buy this limit order on support number 3 and change direction. So that's why it is placing limit orders on specific support or resistance. If it was a short, that ended for you a short, it is going to go ahead and place limit orders, okay, on resistance number 1, resistance number 2, and resistance number 3, such that if the market doesn't go in your direction, maybe it turns back up, maybe if it hits resistance number 1, it's high likelihood to come back down. If it fails, it's going to go to resistance number 3, like that. So it's placed limit orders for the rest of the money on those specific areas. Let me show you an example here, and a live example on my running trades. If you can see this, the market has gone down, we all know. So if you can see, for example, this BCH, you can see it has put in $747. Do you see this on margin? If you can see this on margin here, margin has put in this 750. Why not all the 5,000? Yet my strategy says put in all the 5,000. Now, if you come here, you'll see that it goes the $5,000 times the 15%, which in this case, $750. So it places in the $750, okay, $750 first. Now, if the market goes against me, it is going to add in more 15% because the strategy says what? If you look here on the DCA strategy, it says it first puts in 15%, then sets a limit order where the limit order will add in more 15%, another limit order will add in 30%, the limit order will add in 40%. So if the market goes against me, it is going to add in more $750, okay, into that coin at a proven support or proven resistance, depending on the direction. So in this case, it is going to add in $750, and this becomes $1,500. So you can see it is adding in the money in a trade slowly at proven support or proven resistance. Now, if you look here, for example, let's take a look at this example of BTC USDT. If you can look at BTC USDT, it went against me. You see this? BTC USDT, we entered it from the market, from the entry was at 63. The bot entered it from 63. But right now, as we speak, the market is at 600. So you can see at first, it had put in $750, but if you look here on the margin, it is now reading 1,487, which is almost 1,500, which means it added in more money to protect this position at a proven support. Okay, at a proven support. That's why you can see this position now has 750. This one has okay, $1,500. Whether also it's on $1,500, but this one have 750, which means it protects your positions like that. It puts in more money to protect the position against a total maybe just a stop loss being hit, and you come out whether when the trade was going to just hit resistance number 1 or hit resistance number 2 and then come back to your direction. That's one of the risk management. Okay, so once you turn on this, it is going to do all that for yourself, for you. It is not going to put all the $500. You're going to put in this amount of money in steps. So which means how much profit you make from any trade depends on how much money actually enter that trade. Let me show you here. How much profit I can make from this trade depends on how much money entered into this trade. So if it only put in the first 15% and did not add in anything, and the market went into my favor, it is going to close at a much lower profit. But if in this case, for example, if in this case, this BTC where it has added in more money, it is now 1,500. If it returns back to my direction and maybe comes back up, it is going to close at a much higher profit level than this one. You get? So let's take a look at the example. Let's say on this trade, it made just 2%, 2% on this trade, okay? 2%. What would 2% do, okay? 2% on that trade, what would it do? Let's look at 2%. If it puts in, for example, $750 and just makes 2%, this will be $15, okay? This, I'm not calculating the leverage, but if, for example, it was using a leverage maybe 3, this would be $45, okay? Let's assume we don't have any leverage on any trade. 2% of $750 would be $15. Okay, let's say 750 times 2%, maybe it made 2% profit. It will be $15. Now let's look at a scenario where the bot added in more money and the trade came back to your direction. Okay, it added in more money, maybe it is at 1,500, and you make the same 2% on this. This will now be $30. So the more it buys these limit orders, the more profit you expect to make on any trade once it comes back to your direction. Okay, the more profit you expect to make on any trade once it comes back to your direction. For example, you can see here it added in more money, and for me, I like it to add maybe two or three times, then it comes back to my direction. That is when I make most money. That is when I'm very, very happy. Actually, I'm not happy when it just comes. For example, I'm not happy at this. I'm not happy at all, because I always want, because I've understood the strategy and how it works and how it maximizes profit. I always like to see this. I always like to see XRP going against me, buying maybe the second time or the third time. Then after that, it can come back to mediation. Also, another important part, when it adds in more money, the average buying price or the average entry, okay, this average entry keeps on coming down or coming closer to your entry. The more it adds in more money at different support or resistance, the more this entry price comes closer to the market price, such that any small move in the market, you just come out with a bigger profit. Do we understand? So it is doing all this for you. You're not doing anything. It is doing all this for you, managing everything for you. Now look at this. If this was 4% on 1,500, this would be great. I would be making some good money here, maybe $7 and above. But look at it, just $35. So that's what I'm meaning, that for me, I'm always happy to see a trade going against me first, then coming back. I'm always very happy. Now, someone may ask, but what if it goes against me and hits a stop loss? How much will I be losing on any trade? Let's say maybe on a $5,000 trade, maybe it has ended with total 5,000. It has put in all the $5,000, and the trade still went to hit a stop loss. Okay, so the system is made in such a way that after putting in all the money, maybe all the 5,000, it now recalculates the stop loss distance. Okay, such that you can only lose a maximum of 3 to 10%, 3 to 10% on the margin on the 5,000 that has totally entered into a trade, which means the maximum loss I can make on any trade. Okay, let's say it has put in all the 5,000. The maximum loss I can make, we multiply this by 10%. I will only lose $500 and remain with my $4,500 to continue on the next trades. But it is very hard to see to see it buying all the margin. It is very hard to see it buying everything. Okay. For example, if I'm open for you on this, the market has really gone down. I think we can all see this. We can all see that the market has really gone down. Don't we see? Now let me open for you anything. It is very hard to see here on limit orders that are filled, DCA limit orders. You can see it has just filled in one limit order, the first one. Okay. And it is the same pattern. If you open any trade, you see the same pattern. Maybe here you can see here it has bought the second time. You see this? Second time. So it is very hard to see any trade having 4 out of 4, especially now that they have refined the trades that we are trading. It is very hard. You see a maximum of 3 out of 4. then the trade comes back in your favor, you close with a bigger profit. It is very hard to see a stop loss being hit, especially with this new list of coins. So if you're trading future spot, they're going to only be trading for you 29 coins in spot. If you're trading futures, you're going to be having 41 coins, 41 cryptocurrencies in futures being traded for you on complete automation. Then also, very, very important, the bot is going to be trading for you stocks and indices inside your Binance account. These are proven stocks that do not move. These include the S&P 500, the Big Seven, okay, the Magnificent Seven. We have Nvidia stocks, we have Tesla, we have Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Meta. All these are different stocks that the bot is going to be trading for you. Now, if we come to automated commodities and precious metals, why did they change? First of all, why did they change the trading list? Because first, before this upgrade that happened recent, the board was trading 200 coins inside Binance. Regardless of whether it is volatile or not volatile, it was peaking as long as it qualifies as a signal, and people were hitting stop losses. Okay, on some volatile coins. So that's why they said, no, let us modify. Let us just filter out the trash. We remain with top quality coins. If you trade automation, if you turn on automation, you only get top quality. Okay, top 41 on the cryptocurrencies. You only get stocks that are not volatile, where you know that it's a simple pullback is okay. You're going to survive it. The trade comes back to your direction. That's why right now, it is very, very hard to see any trade finishing off all the 4 out of 4. It is very, very hard because these cryptocurrencies that are selected, they are not volatile. They are not, because you say, for example, if any trade is to complete this ladder and maybe this ladder and get 4 out of 4, the dip or the pump should be at least 20% and above. And these cryptocurrencies they rarely move that percentage. They rarely move 20% and above in a day or in a week. They very rarely move 20% and above. So that's why right now it is very, 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 very hard to see a stop loss. It is very hard. Previously, stop losses were being hit, and this is because the board was just trading everything. But right now, it is very, very hard to see a stop loss being hit. Actually, from the time they upgraded my list, from the time they upgraded the trading list, me, myself, have not seen any stop loss being hit. That's why we are saying we have the best system right now. So the bot is going to do everything for you, and is going to trade for you inside your Binance account or your Bybit. Is going to run the trades. The same trades that you see, they are inside the Binance account responsible for this account. I do not have the logins because the person just gave me the account to manage. Okay, maybe if conditions allow, I can trade for him manually, but I'm just managing the account. I do not have full access to the Binance. I would have shown you, but maybe that's what is happening in the background. So every trade that is closed, for example, if you come here on closed trades, every trade that is closed can either be closed by hitting a stop loss. Maybe this is a stop loss because now, okay, let me talk about how the bot takes off profit. How does the bot take profit? Whenever your trade enters profit of plus 2.3%. Now this is on the profit taker. I've explained the stop loss, how it manages everything in the stop loss and everything. Now, whenever your trade enters the profit of plus 2.3%, it now removes the prior stop loss. It cancels the stop loss which I had placed earlier and moves the stop loss closer such that you can lock in a 2.0% profit on that trade. So a trade that enters green plus 2.3% from the upgrades that they made, a trade that enters green zone or plus 2.3% never goes back, can never go back to close in a negative PNL. This is very important because if you say trade has entered profit and it goes back to closing negative, it is very hurting. So they said if a trade crosses the 2.3% threshold, okay, enters profit of this, then they move the stop loss, bring it closer to lock in a percentage profit of 2.0%. But of course, we all know that because of slippage, okay, slippage, funding fees, it is not easy to close off a 2.0% exactly. That's why sometimes when it is closing, you see it's going to close with 1 point something. Okay. You can see all this 1.79, 1.12. Thus, it is trying to close exactly a 2% profit. The stop loss has been hit. It's trying to close a 2.0%, but the week is going through and closing at a much lower percent, but it's still locking in the profit. Then also, it is very important when your trade reaches a profit of ROI or ROE, when your trade reaches a profit of 5%, 5% and above. Now, the bot cancels the stop loss. The bot cancels the stop loss. It cancels the prior stop loss, which was at 2.0. It cancels it. Now kicks in what we call trading stop. Keeps in what we call trading stop. Trading stop. Then also adds an additional, it adds an additional plus 4% stop loss, a backup stop loss at 4% profit. Let me explain this. When your trade has entered profit of 5%, okay, 5% and above, now the bot is going to cancel the prior stop loss which it had put at, remit at first put at, lock in a profit of 2.0%. So it cancels this stop loss which was supposed to lock in this profit. Now, kicks in what we call trading stop to make sure your trade starts being trailed, but also adds another backup stop loss, which will lock in a percent profit of 4% minimum. So even when this trading stop fails, the backup stop loss captures the profit, and you take this 4%. So if the trading stop kicks in, you'll see this is where you'll see trades closing at 7%, at 8%, 10%. Do I have any trades? Do I have any trades that close at that percent right now here? This is the new upgrade, and on my account it has a kicked through. But you can see here, you can see 5% was locked in. Okay, and you can see on this trade, I made over $100. Here, $74. Actually, with the new upgrade, you can see the profit lock-in percentage has increased. For example, if we look back, it was very hard to make more than maybe $40, maybe 30. You can look at how much the bot was closing in. It was closing in SL $13, 11, 24, 13, 30. But after the upgrade, I want you to look at this. This is still automated. It is still automated. Look at the upgrade. After the upgrade, look at what the bot is locking in. Okay, 34, 75, 70 what. So it means the profit locking mechanism was worked on, and we expect to make bigger and bigger and better profits. Guys, so far, have we understood what I've been explaining? Are we together, guys? Are we understanding what I'm explaining? I see this training is already for experts. Kindly consider one for beginners anytime soon. I think maybe you didn't start with us. Maybe you didn't start with us. But I said if you're a beginner, just turn on one button. It is as simple. Okay. Let me simplify for a beginner. For a beginner, if you're on this call and you're a beginner, and you know the capital that you have here after buying your Binance or Bybit account, it is $400 and above. $400 and above. Just do this. Let me show you. Let me first turn off everything so that I show you exactly what you should do. Okay? Let me turn off everything and I show you what exactly you should do. So, you are a total beginner. You have your capital $400 and above. What should you do? Come to strategy. Come to strategy here. Okay, strategy. Now, choose a strategy partition that is going to give at least 2 to 20 trades or maximally 25 trades. In this case, let's say this was my starting capital. This was my starting capital. Which partition would I choose? I would choose a partition of 1,000 to give me 24 trades because it is within 2 to 20, 25 trades. I would choose $1,000 strategy like this. I've chosen it. After choosing it, I scroll down, turn on 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons. That is it. Now, let me ask if you're a beginner. Is that very hard to do? Because I know we have beginners here. Is that very hard to do, guys? Just choosing your strategy that you want. Now that you have understood how the strategy partition works, and you just turn on 4 buttons, is that very hard? So even when you're a beginner, you don't have an excuse to say that maybe you don't know what to turn on. Just 4 buttons and you're done. 4 buttons, and the bot handles the rest. Why I've been explaining what the bot does in the background is because we have some experienced traders on this call who may want to know what does the bot do in the background to make me that money. How does it manage my capital? Because that's why I went into details of how the bot manages your capital, how the bot puts in stop losses, limit orders, and everything, so that experienced traders that are on this call may also understand what is happening in the background. Otherwise, it is very easy turning on 4 buttons and you leave the rest to the bot. Now, someone is asking, what about leverage? What leverage will the bot use? Now, when you turn on those 4 buttons, the bot chooses the leverage it wants to use. Let me show you. For example, you can see on this trade, it used 5x. When it reached on Arab, it used 3x. When it reached on Lake, it used 4x. When it reached on BTC, it used 8x. You can see it is the bot choosing for me. You don't have to choose anything. The bot will choose the leverage depending, it will first consider how has this coin been performing in the past. What are the market conditions? What is the historical performance of this coin? What is the safest leverage that this coin has been using in the past that is safe to trade with? So it considers so many things to choose for you the perfect leverage for that coin. So everything, you don't have to worry about how about the leverage? Which leverage will it use? How will it consider this? It handles all those decisions for you. That's why I told you it is fully automated. You don't have to know anything. Even if you're a complete beginner, you're hearing about crypto flow for the first time, crypto for the first time. Don't have to worry. The bot is going to handle everything for you. You don't have to do anything. Okay? You can see a 5x, 5x, 8x, 4x, 4x. So it depends on how has the coin been performing in the past. This is 7x. Do you see this? 7x. 3x is here. So the bot will decide the leverage to use depending on the nature of the coin. How has the coin been performing? Performance, to consider performance of the coin in the past. How has the coin been performing in the past? Consider the market conditions when the signal was when the trade was being initiated. What are the market conditions? Okay. What is the capital this person has? Because on a $5,000 capital, find more of 7x, 8x. But on a $300 capital, $400 capital, you see most of it is going to use 1x, okay, 2x, 3x, and maybe even not exceed 3x. Why? It is showing your capital, the risk manager should use on your capital shouldn't be the same risk management it's going to use on a $10,000 capital. I hope we understand that. So everything, the decision is made by the board. Now, let me show you if you want to go an extra step to customize everything. Maybe, let me go back to his $5,000 strategy. Maybe you want to customize everything. You want to specify the leverage because I know there are some people on this call who may want to use the same leverage throughout. You want to use the same leverage throughout. So you want to customize to use the same leverage. You don't want to use, maybe, don't want to use the bot to choose its own leverage. Maybe you want to customize the bot the way it should behave more than what I've just shown you. Now, very, very important. Very, very important. Me as a person, this is what I do for the bot to trade. Okay? Very, very important. I just turn on these four buttons, choose my position, turn on these four buttons, and I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. The bot handles everything for me. But if you're someone who is very experienced and maybe you want something maybe which gives you a full control on every single trade. Now, this is what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you, I don't use it. I want to be very honest with you. What I'm going to show you right now next, me, myself, I have never used it, right? I want that one to be very clear. But I know we have people on this call who may want to know about that and maybe use it. That's why I'm going to show you. But to me, and what I recommend you don't go there if you're not sure or if you're not going to get what I'm going to explain. But if you know you're an experienced trader, you want to further customize, please go there and customize as I'm going to show you. Now, very important. When you come here, on every strategy partition, there is this button called strategy. Whether it is $100, you'll see that button called strategy. You see it here? So they are the same things all over. So me, I use the $5,000 strategy on this account. So if we come here on strategy here, you'll see something very important. Let's come on strategy. Something very important. You can see when you click there, it opens up a drop down, and a drop down shows you that there are different strategies. Here it is showing the best that you can use that preserves your capital to the maximum. It is telling you, you can select this strategy like this, okay, by clicking in it. For example, by clicking in it, it gets selected. You see that? It gets selected, says strategy updated. Did you see that? So what am I saying? I'm saying that even though I've told you to use $5,000 per trade, no, I have changed my mind. Expose only 0.5% of my $1,000 into each trade. So if we get $5,000, okay, times, let's multiply this. What is happening? Okay, if I get $5,000 times 0.5%, this gives me $25. You see this? $25, which means every trade, I'm now telling the bot that whenever you're entering any trade, make sure you only put in a maximum of $25 into any trade. Then also, if you want to use leverage, use a maximum leverage of 1x. Do not use anything more than 1x leverage. Now, if you've been into futures trading for long, you understand what leverage means. Leverage means you get to use to make more profit on any trade. because you're as if you're trading with a bigger capital. But here you're saying do not use any leverage, you just use 1x. So it's going to be putting in $25 per trade. Actually, if you look here down, okay, I'll show you down after. Or you can say, let me select this one here. Okay, let me select this one where it puts in two $25 but uses now 2x leverage. Okay, so you can say, let me select this one, and it's going to show you select strategy updated. Or you can say, I want to look at more strategies here. Let me look at more strategies. Are there any other strategies that will favor me? Okay, it shows you. There is one for 1%, which is now $50, but using 3x leverage. On every trade, the leverage will be the same. On every trade that he opens, the leverage will be the same. And we'll be putting in $50 maximum, not exceeding that. Even if the trade goes against you, it's going to put in that and that only. Or you can say 1% but use 4x leverage. Still the same thing. 4x leverage by putting in $50 at a go. Or you can look at extreme strategies. What are some of the extreme strategies? Let's look at them. Here it is recommending you can use 1.5x. This is $75. 1.5%, $75 of the 5,000. Now this changes according to your partition. If you're using 100 and you've chosen 1.5%, this will be just $1.5. But on each trade we're using, it will be $7.5. I think, no, $1.5. Then on each trade we're using 5x leverage. So it is going to change according to your partition. So every trade is going to open with 5x leverage, but putting in 1.5% of your capital of the partition. Now, you may say, I want to further customize. Come here on custom strategy, and you can say, I want to use maybe 5x leverage with a 10% on every trade. Okay, you can customize everything. Maybe you want to put in 50 or 20%. Okay, then using 6x leverage on each trade. It is upon you can customize the way you want. Now, if at all you customize, me, I'm not going to customize. If at all you customize here down, let's say you have customized. If at all you customize, make sure you scroll here down and turn off this button. Make sure you turn off this button here. Turn off this button. This is for someone who is going to go ahead and set a custom strategy to run for him on each trade. Make sure you turn off this button. Otherwise, if you don't turn off this button, it is going to override. If you look here carefully, it says Smart DCA overrides risk sizing. Do you see this word? It overrides risk sizing. So whatever risk sizing you have selected up there, if you turn on this button, it is going to override. Let me show you an example. For example, let me show you an example. I've chosen, if you can look here, I've selected a custom strategy to use 6x leverage and putting in 20% per trade. But if you can come here, because the DCA button is turned on, okay? Because the DCA button is turned on, I want you to look at this. It has neglected whatever I told it, and it's now going to put in $750, which is 15% of the 5,000. You see that? It has neglected. But if I turn off this button, if I turn it off, you can see it is respecting my selected strategy of 20% using 6x. Now it is going to say 20%, which is $1,000 using 6x leverage on every trade. So make sure if you faster customize, make sure this button is turned off. Otherwise, you will be caught. You're telling it to use maybe $50. You see it putting in 150. Now you start wondering, why is it putting in 150? It I told it to put in 500. It is because of this single button. So make sure you turn it on or off. If you want to use the specific amount of money, make sure it is off. If you want to use it, the risk sizing that I've told you about DCA, make sure you turn it on. This is advanced stuff for only those people that really understand what they are doing. Guys, are we clear on that? Because me, I like explaining so that we understand that rather than cramming. Okay. What is the recommended trading capital for this bot? $50 and above, you can turn on automation. But of course, the bigger the capital, the bigger the profits. Okay, we have understood. Now, the third section is on how to use the trading signals, because this bot also gives you trading signals. So you can, on the trading signals, what is very important, everything else on this list can appear on the trading signal. Everything, every coin that you see here, there are over 200 coins. Any coin on this trading list can appear on the trading signal. On the trading signals here. Okay. So when it is trading for you on automation, it only selects the selected few that I told you. But on signals, it gives you a choice to trade these signals that are not a part of the automated trading channel. So on the signals, if you click there, you'll see that it's going to open up the signals that are available. Okay, you can see, for example, it has just given a signal of Mubaraka USDT. It is a spot signal. So if you're trading futures, look for futures signals. Let's see whether there's any futures signal here. You can see BZ, it is a futures signal. You can see it here. BZ is a futures signal. Futures signal, it was a short futures signal. But look at this. It is a futures signal, but look at this here. Look at the time when it was given. It was given 6 hours ago. So this shouldn't be a good signal to trade. If you want to trade any signal, make sure here it has not yet exceeded 25 minutes. Okay, when it was given. So here it should be 25 minutes maximum. Then second point, you should look here. How much has the signal moved? If it has moved more than 5%, you're already late for the entry, leave it. So those are the only two conditions. If one of them is faulty, you do not enter that coin. One condition, the signal should be fresh, minimally 25 minutes from it was given. Also, should not have moved more than 5% here. That is very, very important. Now, once you understand those two, now it is time to go ahead. Let's say this signal was qualifying here less than 25 minutes, and also here it is also already qualifying. These two are made. Now, what do I want to do? What do I do if I want to trade this coin? I'm going to come here and click on execute trade. Let me click on execute trade. When I click on execute trade, it is going to open up. Now I can just come here and click on precision trade. Now, what are these three trading modes? The first mode, if you click on flash execute, the trade enters immediately. You don't have to customize anything. Immediately you click on that button, the bot opens that trade for you. It looks at your partition that you have selected, it looks at the risk management and opens that trade depending on your risk management you're already using. But to me, I would like you to select on precision trade here. Why precision trade? Gives you more control of the trade. Click on precision trade. When you click on precision trade, it is going to open and load up the coin. You can see BZUSDT has been loaded. The market price is here, panning rate is here, 24 volume is here, and is a short. Okay, so everything is loaded, preloaded for you. Even the leverage, if you look here, futures is selected, leverage is already put 3x leverage. It is recommended to use 1x on this coin. You can use that recommended or you leave it. Okay, here on the amount, they have already detected the partition that I'm using on my account, the $5,000 strategy, and they are putting the amount. But you can change on the amount. You can decide to say, no, on this trade, I want to put in $100. Okay, put in 100 and then remove these last tickets here back. You put in 100, I want to use $100. So all other buttons are already turned on by default. The smart DCA is the take profit levels are already turned on. Stop loss is already in. The smart exit already in. Okay, smart DCA button is already in. Now someone may ask me, what about the risk to reward? Why is the risk to reward poor? I think maybe they should consider risk to reward calculation, but it is poor because the DCA button is turned on, and also by default, if DCA is on, if DCA is on, the stop loss is put very far so that they can allow the 3 limit orders to have enough space to enter. That's why it shows like it is poor, but in actual sense it is not, because remember, there are limit orders that are going to make it improve once the entry is filled in and the entry price changes. So now here you come and turn on this, you come and click on open short. After you've reviewed everything, you can leave smart DCA on or you can turn it off. I've explained to you what the smart DCA does. Okay, now after loading everything, I think everything is loaded very well. You come and click on place short order. When you click on place short, it shows you the details of the trade. You can see they are here, the details. Then you click on this one. Your trade is going to enter as a manual trade. Okay, as a manual trade. That is for someone who is trading futures. Now, what if you come here, you're trading futures, you come here, but you don't see any valid signal? For example, okay, for example, here there's no future signal. They are all spot signals. They are all spot signals, and they are fresh. They are fresh, good opportunities, good entries. What do? You can also trade the same sports coin in futures if it was available. Let's, for example, look at any. Let's look at any. For example, let's look at Mubarak. For example, let's say Mubarak. Let's see whether it is available for futures trading. If you click on it, it is a spot coin. Remember, in spot you have nothing. Okay, in spot you have 000. But if you come here down, okay, and you change from spot to futures, if you click here and change it from spot to futures, if it is available for futures trading, it is going to show you selected. Okay, it is going to, if the same coin is available for spot and also available for futures, it's going to load these ones, the market price, the funding rate, the 24-hour volume. It is going to load all these different features. Then here you now come. Now remember, you have converted it from spot to futures. Now come here down and you adjust the leverage, because spot uses 1x by default. So adjust here to choose your specific leverage that you want to use. So you can say, I want to use 2x maybe, or 5x or 3x. 2x maybe, it is okay. You can see it is selected here, 2x. Now also come here and you adjust the amount. If you want to use the partition, mention on the partition, use it. If you want to change, maybe put in $50. You want to put in $50 into this trade, it is okay. You can put in any amount that you want. Now here down, it is the same things. Stop loss is on. Okay, take profit is on, stop loss is on, smart exit is on, DCA is on. Just go back down and you select place long order and you confirm your order is going to be placed on your futures account. That's how simple it is. Then how about people who know market analysis? Because I know we have manual traders here. People have been in the market for long. They know how to analyze the markets. So what do? You can say, I want to trade futures, but I want to trade Ethereum. I want to enter Ethereum. So just come and click on Ethereum. Come here and click on, if maybe you want to first look at the chart of Ethereum, come and click on Ethereum. When you click on Ethereum, it is going to open up a trading view portal. It's going to open up for you trading view portal. Inside the bot, you don't have to do anything inside the bot. So we can see, if we look at 1 hour here, 1 hour time frame, it is approaching the support. Okay, see, I think we see that it's about to make a double bottom. So you can say, according to what I see, maybe if I long from here or if I short from here, this is now for advanced stuff, for people who know trading really. They've been in the market for long. They want to know, they know trading. So you can just come here up and you click on new trade. This maybe you have completed the analysis here and you want to enter, click on new trade. The same things, click on new trade. When you click on new trade, it still brings you here and it pre-fills everything. The trade is Ethereum. Okay, the trade is Ethereum. Okay, maybe you want to trade it in futures. Okay, in futures, everything pre-fills the market price and everything. Then you just have now adjust leverage, put in the amount, put on the stop level, the market price, the take profit levels. You can decide to even leave them off if you want. Maybe you have seen an entry, good entry, and you want to leave the take profit off. You want to leave the stop loss off. It is upon you. You can leave off. Maybe you can leave turn them on. You adjust everything. Then go ahead and enter. Your coin is going to appear here. The same way you're seeing this as automated or auto, you see this one is going to display manual. Okay, it's going to display manual. So also another very important thing that maybe I want to mention before I go, I want to mention is here. When you look here, I told you this account uses 100K, but if you look here, it's showing you 24,000. So where is the rest? So the rest of the money, because this year is turned on, this year reserves the money for limit orders. For any trade that enters, it reserves the capital and will facilitate its limit orders if they are reached. So that's why you see less money, because I saw some people complaining that where has my money gone? Has my money disappeared? Has this bot eaten my money? No, the bot has not eaten your money. It has reserved off that part of that capital for limit orders. Okay, if the limit orders are filled, well and good. If they are not filled and the trade comes out, it's going to return all your capital back to your all the reserved money is going to return it back to your capital, and that is very okay. Why does it reserve money for limit orders? It reserves money for limit orders because it wants to make sure that when a limit order is reached, there is enough money to facilitate it. Otherwise, if it doesn't reserve money for limit orders, the bot will see, I still have 80,000 here, 80K here. Let me add in more trades. It keeps on adding. At the end of it all, you find the strategy you're using says it is reserving limit orders, money for limit orders, but when the time reaches for placing a limit order, the money is not available. It is already saturated into more trades. So that's why you see here, once it adds more trades, you see the balance here decreasing. Don't not worry, because that is very normal. That's how the bot reserves the capital for limit orders. I think I have reached at the end of it all. What is the likelihood of this bot to make losses out of 10 trades? Okay. I'm going to give you an example. I may not say the specific figure, but for me, what I understand, in the past, it is true we were seeing some stop losses being hit in the past, because it was trading almost everything, 200 coins, top 200 coins in Binance. So stop losses were being hit maybe once in a while. But right now, with the improvement of the coin list, we have not, me myself, I have not seen any stop loss being hit. Even when trades go against me, they recover and come back into profit. I've not seen any stop loss being hit, to be honest. Okay. But in the past, of course, you would see one or two stop losses being hit. Or maybe you have 10 trades, maybe one of them hits a stop loss, or maybe two. Okay. Maybe in a week you get one stop loss, or maybe stopped out twice in a week. But right now, ever since they updated the trading list, that has disappeared. That has totally disappeared. So that's why we can say even with that scenario where the bot was hitting stop losses, it was able making 10% to 30% every single month. Even with stop losses included, negatives, what, you find at the end of the month, the net profit is around 10% to 30%. So now that they have improved their coins, we expect this to go up maybe to around 60% or maybe 70% of wins coming in every single month. Okay, so that's how I can answer that. Let me see. You have done really well, sir. Thanks a bunch. I've tried really. I've tried. Earnings don't study. Yes, I think they have to fix this. They have to fix this. The earnings here on today, for example, if you see today, it shows 0 0, but when you go to earnings, it closed the profit. So it has not yet. I think this is maybe was introduced by the previous. It was connecting very well. Maybe the upgrade. Maybe you can see today it closed the profit of $24 so far today on raw USDT. I don't know why it is not reflecting. I don't know why it is not reflecting on the home screen. Or maybe if you're saying that the profits inside the bot here, what it shows you does not tally with what is in Binance, maybe that one I can explain to you. Remember, the bot, when a trade closes inside your Binance, the bot has to report what by the time the trade closed, what was the PNL, what was the profit. In this case, for example, it was 24.28. But you might find in Binance, when you go to Binance, you see that Doge closed with maybe a profit of maybe 23.8. Why? It is because when a trade closes on the exchange, they have to deduct the trading fees. They have to deduct the trading fees. They have to deduct the funding fees. Okay, if any. So those small differences in the bot, I mean in the exchange, you're going to see that they are causing a small drift in the earnings, but they are always almost the same, almost always the same. Okay, I hope I've, I've answered you very well. How often do you have this Zoom? This Zoom for trade settings is always available on Monday and Wednesday. Monday and Wednesday, we always teach about. Okay, let me give you the full schedule. On Monday, we teach about trade settings. That is our Ugandan time. It is 10 a.m. Ugandan time. 8 a.m. West African Standard Time. We always teach trade settings in English. Trade settings in English. Then on Wednesday, still the same time. That will be 8 a.m. West African Standard Time, 10 a.m. Ugandan time or East African Standard Time. We teach trade settings still. So these lessons are repeated twice in a week. Then tomorrow, Tuesday, we learn about crypto as an industry. What is happening in crypto? Some of the things that you need to learn in crypto. Okay, we learn about that. Okay. Blessed, I think now you have learned the trade settings, and this is going to help you. Trust me, your money is going to increase. Because some people, because they didn't know how to set very well their bot, that's why they were not making money. But now you understand how to set your bot very well. The results are going to improve. Now on Tuesday we learn more about the general crypto market. On Wednesday, trade settings. On Thursday, we learn about the compensation plan. For those of you who want to know how can I benefit from the referral program, on Thursday we teach about the compensation plan. On Friday we teach about team building. On Saturday we teach about how to navigate the bot for new users or new user orientation. How to navigate the bot. That is on Saturday. Then every evening from Monday to Friday, every evening at 8 p.m. East African Standard Time, 8 p.m. East African Standard Time, we teach, we do what we call business presentation for prospects. If you have anyone who may want to know about this business opportunity, maybe you want them to attend the Zoom and learn from experts, you can always bring them 8 p.m. East African Standard Time, that is 6 p.m. West African Standard Time. We always have this Zoom running. And also this Zoom runs also in other countries. Do we have any leader from Nigeria who is running these Zooms? I give you a mic. You can just KK Success, are you already running this? Someone can tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're doing that already.
Okay, what is the time for your audience so that they can know?
8 p.m. 8 p.m. Nigerian time. 8 p.m. West African Standard Time, Nigerian time. 8 p.m. And we're
Okay.
working on holding every day, daily Zoom, Monday to Sunday. We're going to be holding different topic. So 8 p.m. Nigerian time.
Okay. Okay. Of recent, I was on a call. I was on a Zoom. The same Zoom happens in the Caribbean. That is where we have the Jamaica, the Trinidad and Tobago. They hold the same Zoom 9 p.m. their time. 9 p.m. their time. In East Africa, that is around 4 a.m. in the morning. So they hold the same Zoom 9 p.m. in that is the countries in the Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean region. Okay, the Caribbean region. They hold the same Zoom at 9 p.m. their time. It is almost 2 a.m. West African Standard Time, and also 4 a.m. East African Standard Time. They always have that Zoom running. So these Zooms are always available. You just have to find a group where these links are posted such that you always attend every single day. Every evening, make sure you bring your people to come and attend. Okay, then you like 4 a.m. Okay. Now, someone is okay. Let me see some through. The bot is too slow in picking trades. Yes, it is too slow. Why? Because the coin list has changed. Previously, it was picking trades much faster because it was scanning 200 pairs, and it's very hard to not to get a signal on 200 pairs. But right now, it scans only 41 pairs. So what do you expect? It has to become somehow slow. If you maybe it was trading for you many times a day, you see it picking a few trades in a day, very few trades in a day. That is very okay because they have changed the coin list. Now, also, it is true some people were not getting trades. They were not getting trades for maybe 1 or 2 days. We have reported that, and they have told me that they have verified from the email they have sent me. They have verified everything, and the thing is going to be, is the session recorded? Yes, it is recorded. I'm going to give you the link for the recording. A request for us in UAE Luganda session at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is going to collide with another session, maybe Google Meet. We shall plan for that. But we always have 8 p.m. You can attend 8 p.m. session. Great presentation. Thank you. Because as you know, okay. Otherwise, have a good day. Let's meet in the evening. Okay, let me recommend something before you go. Every evening, 8 p.m. East African Standard Time, always invite your people. We have free presentation to everyone who joins in. And most of the people, actually, when they attend that session, they end up registering and getting started. So make sure every evening, at least you have few people that you have invited to the evening Zoom, 8 p.m. East African Standard Time, that is 6 p.m. West African Standard Time. Invite such people, invite 5 people, 10 people on the call. They come and attend because we are helping you build a team. We present to them, show them the opportunity. Then at the end of it all, you're the one to benefit and you get a strong team. Otherwise, have a great day. And yeah, your new
Right.
business, I think everything is okay.
Dixie, before you go, I want to pass a little
Mm.
announcement, please. Very important for the community.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. So if I'm from Nigeria, yeah, you're a Nigerian team, please, and you like to be one of our presenters, we need more presenters. You can DM me or DM me the upline. They'll get you connected to me. KK Success. Just look for me. If you have the capacity and the potential to be a presenter, we'd like to welcome you to the presenters training group. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to share this recording later. Thank you very much for joining in. For those who have been watching from YouTube, I'm going to give